Hi, welcome to my channel EasyML. In this video, let us delve into some of the basic functions and features of RStudio. We will first see how we load data into RStudio. In the top right quadrant, that is the Environment tab, we have a tab called the Import Dataset. If I click on this Import Dataset tab, you can see that there are various types of data that can be loaded into RStudio. I will be loading a CSV file, that is a comma separated values file. Let me quickly browse for my CSV file. So I'm browsing, selected my file, and I'm opening it. Now, here I can see that in this sample data, I have variables such as gender, height, and weight. Now, I click on import to import this sample data. Here in the environment tab, I can see that the sample data titled weight underscore height has been successfully loaded. We can also see that this data has 10,000 observations and 3 variables. Let us now go to the scripting window, which, as I explained in the previous video, is the top left quadrant. I will load this sample data into an object called myData. So let me type myData is equal to, and I'm going to type the title of the sample data, which is weight. So yeah, as I started typing the name of the sample data, you can see that R has this whole autocomplete functionality. This autocomplete functionality is extremely useful as it helps save time. So I just select that, and then now to execute this loading of the sample data into the myData object, I press Control Enter. If you recall, in the previous video I had mentioned that any command that is typed in the scripting window has to be executed with the Control Enter function keyboard shortcut. So I'll just type Control Enter here. So now I can see that I have loaded the sample data into the myData object. We can also see that the myData object is created in the environment tab. Now let us inspect this data. For that, I will use the view function. So view, open brackets, myData, and then Control Enter. So the view function helps display the contents of the myData object in a tabular format, as you can see here. So viewing data in this format is actually pretty useful at times. Now let us take a look at the dollar symbol. The dollar symbol helps inspect the contents of a particular object. So let us say that out of all the 3 variables, gender, height, and weight, I only want to select height. So I will create an object called height, and which is equal to, and then from myData, I will use the dollar symbol to select height. So the dollar symbol says that within the myData object, there are 3 variables, that is gender, height, and weight. Since I want only height, I select height. And then I press Control Enter. Now let's say I do the same thing for weight. So I create a new object called weight, and from myData, I select weight using the dollar symbol. So out of gender, height, and weight, this time I select weight, and then Control Enter. Now in the environment quadrant, I can see that objects height and weight have been updated under the values section, if you observe. So now let me plot a simple scatter plot using these new objects height and weight. I will use the plot function for that. So plot, open brackets, height, comma, weight, and then Control Enter. Now in the bottom right quadrant, I can see the output of the scatter plot, that is weight versus height. Now let us say we don't know a syntax of a particular function or package. So how do I go about exploring that in R? So in the console here, I just type a question mark. A question mark is as simple as that. So I type a question mark, and let us say I didn't know the syntax, so I didn't know how to use the plot function. So I type question mark and I type the name of the function. In this case, I'm going to type plot, P-L-O-T, and then I just click Enter. So here in the bottom right quadrant, I can see under the help section that I get all the information of the plot function. So it is very easy for me to understand. I have to just read it and then execute it. So these are the basic functions and features of R. Do not worry, we will learn more functions and features as we progress throughout this course. Thank you. Stay tuned.